Niggas crazy. Oh yeah, I mean this bitch, man.
All that this Lindsay Clancy trial, debacle, debate, nonsense that I'm hearing from different types of people is just how low, the barrier for IQ can actually go, how low the cognitive dissonance in most people actually does tend to, stir towards the lower end, how just blatantly disrespectful people are. And I'm going to make another video on people who are calling out or making light of a situation of another woman who is actually attacked by her boyfriend. It's like, it's not funny. This is not contributing to anything. This woman deserves to be put in jail or, sentenced to death. Like, she murdered her children. She strangled her children. I don't know the full scenario of what they're accusing the husband of, these TikTok influencers. It doesn't matter if the husband literally beat her to a pulp. She went out of her way to murder her children. What are you trying to justify here? She could have put them up for adoption. She could have divorced him. She could have went to the police. She could have maybe even went through a psychotic episode and almost did something, but she sat there and strangled each kid individually. We know this already. She may have been given drugs by Big Pharma, like Candace Owens says. It wasn't her fault. It was Big Pharma. Yeah, Big Pharma is a problem, and they give a lot of people drugs just because they are lazy and because they want money. They pump these things out to people just because they can, just because it, is a big source of income for them. It is a big monetary incentive to do so. But guess what? I don't think any semblance of a drug in the world can be fully on blame, out of control of the person, of saying, hey, you had no sense of control in doing this thing. Even if somebody was high on heroin and they murdered all 3 of their children, guess what? What would you say? Oh, that person has a drug addiction. It wasn't their fault. Leave them be. They may have had depression. That's why they, took some heroin. It doesn't matter. She strangled each of her 3 children. What are you not understanding here? This is common sense. Do we have to repeat this over and over and over again? And I've seen women try to make this argument. Oh, pretend that they're vases. No, we're not going to pretend that they're ceramic vases. They were kids. She murdered them. Doesn't matter if they were 3 full-grown teenagers. She murdered 3 people. She needs to face charges for that.